Good morning. Welcome to Flat Earth Early Bird number 1557. I'm your host Arwin. And before I start the show, please don't forget to share it on any platform you deem fit. And if you haven't already, subscribe to my channel, hit the bell notification so you know when I'm going live, which is normally 1 p.m. Amsterdam time in the weekdays and 2 p.m. Amsterdam time in the weekend. And please also do support me through the PayPal, Patreon, and yeah, that's about it. That would be much appreciated. And yeah, I can definitely still use the support, so please keep it coming. Right, whether today is, I don't know. It's still cloudy. It's been occasionally rainy. It's not rainy right now. It's just overall very wet. Not particularly cold, but just wet. Right. Hello, LVA Paul, first in chat, good to see you. It is Saturday, the 1st of April 2023. April Fools! I did not have a joke. Or not yet, anyway. Did I see Nathan's latest clip? No. What is that? Great, 20-second ad. What is that? Oh, right. Yeah, Father Ted. I remember that. About the cow close by, far away, big, small. Yeah. No, I hadn't seen it yet, but thanks for sharing. Globe Man is thicker than too short. Yeah, I mean, there's no debate about it, as far as I'm concerned. To be fair, I'm a little bit more worried about Nathan and Adam talking shit about me in the pre-show about what I believe in and saying things about it that are just, it's really bizarre. I don't know how to read into it. It was so weird yesterday. I watched that premiere from the show where I got on kind of anxious because I just got a strike and all that. But before that, they were just talking shit. Like about my German new medicine, and it was just weird. I mean, I've talked about it quite elaborately, but Adam seems to be like just outright rejecting of it. And I don't, like, how did he even come to that conclusion? Like, has he even found anything about it? Like, he claims that those things have been disproven. And yeah, I've relayed that story about the court case, I think with Dr. Hammer and all that. But it was a giant mess, that court case. And like to see a transcript or something, because I don't have one. Like, and I'm pretty sure neither does Adam. So it was just rejection. Even though it's like he didn't exactly display an elaborate insight on what it even exactly is. He roughly described it And he got all kinds of things wrong about it. Like, oh really? German New Medicine claims that bacteria don't exist. No it doesn't. It just doesn't ascribe the role to them that has been ascribed to them. As like germs, I guess. Which is like another classification. I was very elaborate in the chat during that premiere about it. But I mean, I'm kind of ticked off about that. Like, what the fuck is this? Stream health has no this. Yeah, well, that's debatable, LVA Paul. The point is that I didn't expect them to just like talk like that. And oh, too bad he isn't here. Yeah, it's the pre-show. I'm never there. It was just weird. It felt weird. I don't like it. I really, really don't like it when that happens. When I find out by just by happenstance watching the pre-show. I very rarely watch the pre-show Flat Earth debates. I just never really do. Even when there's premieres, I very rarely watch it from the start. Because I don't want to listen to how long Nathan's Patreon list is. Every time. And usually it's just kind of like Neil just blabbering, and so, but I mean, I don't like it. Like, what the hell is that? Why are you talking about me and then talking like that in a segment where I'm not there? And then you don't bring it up or anything. Like, nobody's brought that to my attention for, well, since the premiere went live. Like, nobody's told me they're talking like that. I don't like that. Or do you think that they're just talking shit then? Are they just talking shit, and so it's like, oh yeah, whatever, it's just Nathan and Adam talking shit? But I mean, in my view, like, I hold them in high regard. They shouldn't be doing that. Like that. I don't understand that they do. Yeah, I mean, I take German New Medicine very personal. I live it. I am not... what do you say? I'm not claiming doctorship or whatever, you know? I'm just doing it. I'm not even recommending it to other people, because it's kind of tough psychologically. It's the whole point. Right? So it's like, yeah, okay, you do how you want to do it. I'm doing it my way, and this is my way. And, like, what's the point of just poo-pooing it like that outside of my presence when you could just ask me things, address it? I mean, I've talked about it for years now. When did I first brought that on the table? That must have been like at least 5 years ago, maybe 6. At first very carefully, because I thought like, yeah, nobody knows about this. It'll not be received very warmly. I knew that. But I've talked about it for a long time, and then basically, what is it, 6 years later or something, I still hear who I consider to be my closest friends basically on the internet talking on a stream out where I'm not there like that. That's shocking to me. I'm distraught over that. Oh, Moxie. Hope you're gonna behave, dude. The way you were talking the other time. Don't know what the hell you were on, but I mean... If I catch you doing that again, I will just kick you out of here, okay? Can all be all well behaved you like in my chat. If I am at some other chat and I catch you talking shit to me or about me, yeah, you're gonna get it. As long as you got that clear, Moxie. Right, yes, sorry about that. Yeah, oh, I hope you don't forget. Right? Hey, if you don't like me or you don't like parts about me or whatever, my attitude or just how I am someday, I totally get it. I don't like me how I get some days. Some days I wake up and I feel just really like everything's off. Like I just can't explain it. It's just I'm weird in some way and people just I don't connect well spiritually or something with other people anymore. It's like I'm out of phase. Don't know what to do about it. Like I can apply the technique. I already even did that. But still, it's gonna be slightly off. It's just unavoidable. If you don't like things about it, or you're like, I hate how Arwen was that day. I'm like, yes, I'm with you. Just don't go all shitting on me then. Right? If you have a fair piece of criticism about my attitude, or maybe I flubbed a lot, or I was just reckless or whatever, sure. But don't talk like I'm some loser or something or whatever, or go with the troll narrative. Oh, Arwen, just don't enable him. That sort of shit. Just never do that. Don't get caught up in that, because if I spot you, you're gonna get it. Alright, good. Okay, Moxie. Glad to hear it. Right? If you have criticism, that's fair. Don't make a war out of it. Yeah, just because you have criticism doesn't mean that, oh, you have criticism, you see something negative, that means it's war. No, I'm not like that. I'm not like one of those online psychopaths like that. If you turn against me, then everybody's just like pushing you out. Like I've seen with other flat earthers. Well, not the ones that I hang around with typically. But you know who. Glowbuster Screw and such. They do that all the time. Like, oh, no, that person's like sort of in opposition, so they just push you out. Just ban you quickly. Yeah? I mean, I don't even do that with like people like Simon Dan and all that when they come up. I might do it with Brenda because Brenda is extremely disruptive. And I do it for that reason, not because she's supposedly in some opposition of an argument. I do it with Rastahat. And I like Rastahat. I just don't like him in the chat in my live shows. He drives me up the walls a lot of the time. Like every time I let him in, it usually just takes a few days. And then it happens again. So I'm not allowing him, but I do actually consider him a friend, even though he might not consider me as much now. And I do respect him for his skill and all that. But I don't want him in my chat. And I've told him that face to face, basically over the internet, that is, face to face. But I think he gets it. Right? But that's different. Anyway. Anybody else here? 10 watching. Yeah, and don't forget to share the show. because of course, yeah, my channel's still a little small here, the backup channel, although it did rise up pretty a lot. I mean, I think I tripled the subscribers now in just 2 days. So that's good. But yeah, make sure that especially, well, the people that typically like to hang around in my live chat, that they get to know about it. That would be great. Right. So yeah, okay. Had a lot better sleep, by the way, although it was still kept up a bit because roommates went out for some party and got home a bit drunk or something. It was loud, annoying, but I mean, it wasn't as bad as the day before. So I feel decently rested. Michael Kahn posted a link on Flatside stream for you. Yeah, I think that the situation with Michael Kahn is kind of like died down. I mean, he really got so livid over that time when I tried to correct him in the chat. But it seems like that's cooled down now, and I'm like, okay, fine. You know, I didn't hate on him. Because that was never the intent. Right? It was just about, like, leave that guy alone. He's not a troll. He's still out there hanging around. And isn't, like, I mean, he's not the coolest guy. He's kind of annoying at times, right? Duper poons. But, I mean, he doesn't seem to be like a troll. He seems to be there because he likes to think about these things and try to work it out. That's what he feels like to me, with what I've seen from him for several months now. And he's like not the worst chat participant. So I'm glad that I did hold Michael Kahn to task on that, or basically stopped him. Because, yeah, I mean, the guy didn't deserve it. And that's all. And Michael Kahn is now not angry anymore, I think, so that's all good. I was never angry with him in the first place. Hey, Dank. Good to see you. Nathan, no. Oh! Okay, Dank. You get a wrench right away? Yeah, I know Nathan helped. Let me check the because there is a link in there, right? Yeah, in D Live, See Me Trevor left the link. Right. Right, but anyway, yeah, that look, first part of this show, talking about that pre-show that I saw. I know Nathan is still helpful. I even listened back to how he responded when I came on, and it wasn't as bad. He was kind of sympathetic. He just was so calm, and I was so messed up. Right? So, yeah, I know. It's just the way they talk about something that is basically a subject that I deal with. And they talked about it really shittily. It's like, why are you even doing that? Are you dissing on that? Like, effectively behind my back. I mean, it's only by chance that I even saw this. Because I usually don't get to see pre-show things. Yeah. Right. Looking into real health. Yeah, LVA Paul, but yeah, I don't even want to get into it. The problem is most people in general, they get into it when it's already kind of too late. And that's mostly the problem, right? That's even why people become so dependent on a system where there is a doctor. It's like, oh, I'm getting too late. I can't handle it anymore. So then you go to the doctor, and then if you have some problem, some systemic problem, yeah, it's too late. Potentially. Not always or whatever, you know. But like, I don't have that attitude at all. Like, I am on top of whatever's going on in my body at all times. Very sensitive to it. I have senses. I maintain my senses. I keep myself flexible and basically work out the stresses of my body and my spirit even, which then reflects on my body, and I manage it. So I'm very careful with my own health, and I don't wait until things are too late to do something, to tackle them. That's the way I operate. I've been operating like that for decades. That's why me going to the doctor has been roughly once a decade or something, on average. And last time I went there, it was just complete waste of time and money. Literally, it was just a waste of everything. They didn't help me, but they did bill me. It was terrible. So I'm like, I'm never dealing with that again. It's like, no, dude, I am not gonna try that again. Right, because I don't need some standard doctor to like look at me and then, oh, you have that. Yeah, no shit, I have that. You thought that I couldn't see that I can't feel that, can't conclude that? Like, I can't look that up, what it could be, and then figure it out? What? Really? A superficial basis diagnosis. Like, you think that I can't just do that on my own? Yeah, that's not what I need. That's not what I went to the doctor for. When I go to a doctor, I want a solution. And they didn't. It's like, could you do this physical action right now? No. Okay. You know what happened? I ended up doing it myself later. And then I felt really ashamed, like, why the fuck did I even not just do it myself in the first instance? And then I knew. It's because I was panicking. And it's really weak of me. And it's not gonna happen again. Alright, next time I've got some issue with my gums or something, I know what to do. And I don't need outside help. Right. So that's just the way that I do things, and I mean, you know? Right, anyway. My health is, by the way, in pretty good condition, but I did recently kind of figure out that my eyesight is... Or it's like my eyesight is great, it's just that my focus ability has a bit of issue. And it's probably because I've been looking at screens for way too long. Way too regularly. Like, I should probably like do some things that will give my eye muscles some good training. Because I'm noticing that's just like little letters. It's become a real pain in the ass to try to focus on that. And sometimes it just, I don't succeed. It's like I can't focus. It's really annoying. Thinking you have a disease is a compounding condition. Yeah. Yeah, the psychology of it is not helping unless you're not really afraid of it, and then it's just like, oh, I'm sick. That means recovery time. Because at least that gets recognized, as in, okay, you shouldn't be working or something, right? Right, but the whole idea of disease, look, disease does exist. It's dis-ease, right? But it just the way it works. Gum pain that connects to a migraine. Yeah. Well, you can do something about that. Or I can do something about that. I can do something about that with me, Rufus St. Hubbins. But, yeah. You might... Yeah, magnetization, redirecting of nerve energy. Yeah. I don't know if you can do that. Probably not. Don't know a lot of people that can do that. I can do that. And that way I avoid a lot of like damage, you could say, from continuous headaches when that sort of thing starts to happen. Right, anyway. The problem is really with the medical model of things, of how some things are done. It's like yeah, I'm improvising in here in a bit, so I'm not making any medical statements, but I basically feel like it's an anthropomorphization, like the separation of entities with things like bacteria. And because in that system they just approach it like it's basically an hostile invasion force, and then once it gets traction it starts to invade and replicate and then spread around. And that is the model in which it is presented, right? But that gets to the mind. That basically separates you from bacteria through that model. It's like propaganda against them in a way, because we're surrounded and drenched in bacteria. Like without bacteria we wouldn't be able to live. They're all over us and in us, all over the place. And yeah, they're kept in check. But like if they wouldn't be there, you'd have a problem, because they're there like on standby duty basically. And then something happens, like if you get wounded or something, they start to do their thing, like clean up the place. It's usually what they do. And they're kept in check, right? But they're not exterminated by the body. They're kept in check, right? Like, unless there is like a really bad situation going on, you're like weakened, and it's like it won't stop. It can't be brought back into control, and then something like a fever can happen to basically do a purge, because it's like it can't be kept in check. And that's when you really get sick. It's basically when your body can't keep it in check anymore. What is there? Was always there. It's not like, oh, you were recently infected. No, it's more likely it's just bacteria you'd been having maybe all your life, right? And then in that point of weakness is when suddenly your body can't manage it all of a sudden. And so emergency measures start to kick in, like fever, right? That's not because those things were always there to wait to take you over. No, it's just because your body is not capable of managing, you could say, its citizens anymore, right? I like to make that comparison between the body as a city and the bacteria in the body as citizens of the city. So if the city falls in disarray, then so will the citizens. They will become feral and basically start looting and damaging things. It's a metaphor, right? But I think that it's much more accurate type of metaphor as what the medical system ascribes to infectious disease bacteria. Although, yeah, there are some types of bacteria that are very different from most bacteria. Like, there are a lot of different bacteria. And some of them, like, they don't cooperate well with the body. And usually those ones do, like, get exterminated by your body. By the rest of the bacteria often, by the way, right? There's wars between bacteria. Good bacteria and bad bacteria, if you want to put it into simple terminology. Hey, LSG, good to see you. Right. Okay, yeah, well, LVA poll, yeah. I didn't know you knew about it, by the way. I don't know how many people even have heard of it. It's really obscure, German New Medicine. It is really obscure, even though it's been out there for decades. And there is a lot of research behind it. It's just that opponents of it, you could say, you never hear about it. Like, even Adam, just like, oh, there's no evidence. Like, excuse me, but wide research, like multiple people, multiple studies over years. Like, that thing might have had, like, altogether, yeah, I don't know how much research, but it was a people-based study. It wasn't just some theoretical model that they used. And that they never really tested it. No, they did test all those things out. Compared it. And so, yeah, people strawman the shit out of that. And it's really just disappointing. Right? And to say they have science behind them, well, it is basically a phenomenon, very manipulate phenomenon, and then see if it changes the result. And in this case, it is trauma-based. Yeah, it's like people have lives. Things happen in those people's lives. They go through bad times. Well, guess what? They can tell about those bad times and when they happen and what it felt like. They can describe it. Yeah? And so then, if you suddenly get a medical issue, like something swells or whatever, get an inflammation in a very odd way, then if they had certain types of trauma, like psychologically, socially, or whatever, in their lives, and they know about it, well, guess what? It's there. That's there. And people, and what they found out, basically, this is only, I haven't like literally looked at the white papers of the study. I've never seen any. It's just kind of disappointing. I wish I would see that. What they basically did is like, oh, okay, well, this type of cancer and that type of issue, or like all these different things you can get. They just compared like, oh, you have that. Okay, what happened? Could you basically lay out things that happened in your life recently and further away, and like be very honest. Talk about like the really traumatizing things that you might have encountered. And they basically did a statistical mapping with all that. They did it with a whole bunch of people. I don't know how many, thousands potentially. I don't know how many. And then it's just like, yeah, every time that ailment pops up, there is a very specific type of associating trauma that has happened to those people that have that type of trauma. And that is how German New Medicine was established. Right? Now, whether you call that, oh, well, is that science that they very manipulated? Yeah. But if it statistically is just continuous, like consistent, statistically consistent, is statistically consistent, would that be seen as science? Well, not scientific method-based, probably, right? But then again, I mean, Louis Pasteur, you know? So maybe stop projecting there, then, to German New Medicine with your germ theory. Yeah, when it comes to hardcore scientific evidence using the scientific method, maybe you should stop projecting. Like, oh, you don't have that. Yeah, neither do you. Huh? Could somebody repeat that experiment? Isolate it. Isolate the true cause of the effect. Oh, yeah, they didn't really do that properly. Oh, it's some sludge with their... Yeah. Yeah, that's official. That's how they do it. Right? So, if you're going to argue against German New Medicine not being scientific, well, look who's talking. Right? But the statistical correlation, I guess, is very persistent. That's how they established it. Massive cross-referencing. Checking. They found patterns and they cataloged the patterns. And that is German New Medicine. It's the catalog of the patterns. People get certain type of issues, conflicts, as they designate it, conflict. They get a conflict. Then when they resolve the conflict, a correlating type of bodily issue happens. That is what it is. Yeah. That is it. That is basically all it is. It's a map. That's right, it's as well, yes, Rufus. It is also very tenable to deal with it, to live it. Like you said, if you get sick, it's like, oh, finally, my body finally fixed something. It's cleaning up, right? It's like, if you want to see it as like a pathogenic, if you even get that dark towards something that might be happening in you, like that, then you could see it as like, oh, finally, the SWAT team finally got to the hostage takers. And now it's getting messy, right? Now the bullets are firing, but it's going to be over soon. Right? That's how that then feels when you get sick. It's like, oh, finally, my body fixed it. Yeah, it's going to be messy for a bit, but it's all good. So yeah, mentally, it helps you very much. It's like very pragmatically helpful. just to go by it. And that's what I do. And it works really well. Especially if you're really sensitive emotionally and all that. It works really well. Right? Because before I even knew about this, let's say 20 years ago, if I got sick, I would feel like, I'm a failing species. My body is like, I can't, like, I'm being taken over, I'm gonna die. Like, those things, you don't think that anymore. When you're having the German New Medicine mindset. You don't think like that anymore. You don't doom yourself when you get all diseased. You don't feel like a freak as much. You feel like, no, my body just resolved a conflict. It's internal brawl time, and I will be better after this. I'm succeeding. I overcame the conflict that I might not even have been conscious of that it was a conflict, but it is, whether you're conscious about it or not. So it's very effective. Hey Richard G, good to see you. Hello Clemmy. Classical Homeopath, good to see you by the way. Steamy Traveler. What are we talking about? I guess we're talking about German New Medicine for a bit. I'm trying to be very careful about it. Right? But I'm basically just trying to explain it, what it is, and why I use it, and the psychological benefit, like the most direct benefits you're having. Like, and how it was established. That's what we're talking about. German New Medicine does not rule out, dismiss malnutrition. No, of course it doesn't. Dude, that's part of it. And it's like even certain traumas can literally turn off a logistical route, you could metaphorically say, in your body between nutrition absorption. Like a trauma can block certain functions, certain microfunctions. You can suddenly have like your body refuses to assimilate certain substance. Right? So yeah, malnutrition, toxicity is definitely still a part of what's happening. I mean, it's just, but what it argues is like what happens after what? It's like what type of thing that might be spiritually happening or in your experience or your social life, and what could then typically happen as a result. It's basically like a giant trauma chart. Just like what trauma could happen, and this is what could then physiologically happen as a response. It's very interesting. It also just suddenly the ailments you get as a studier or an applier, how do you say, an applicant, German New Medicine applicant, as you apply to your life, when you start to get ailments, suddenly these ailments start to really say things to you. It's like, you have that ailment, what does it mean? Yeah, because it means something. It's almost like the body is actually, in that sense, like an astrological chart. All of a sudden. Because every freaking ailment has a trauma relation. You can literally look it up, like online. Just a map. So if you have an ailment, you can look into it and see like, hey, what does that associate with? It feels a little bit like astrology, but there is definitely something to it. Oh my god, I think there's some party somewhere here. Right, yeah. Over there, they got a party. Stupid megaphone. Whatever. Did my healer introduce me to German New Medicine? No, my dad did. He started applying it to himself. Told me some about it. And this has been like a long time ago. I think it was, yeah, around 10 years, no, more than 10 years ago. I think it was like, he got into it maybe like 15 years ago, but just, and then roughly 10 years ago, we really started to talk about it. Or basically after I got kicked out of my girlfriends, because I didn't really talk to a lot of people during my relationship. I was just like really fixated on my girlfriend. Might have been part of the problem. Who cares, right? But I got into German New Medicine with my dad after that. And he's had already been learning a lot about it and applying it. Right? But I mean, my dad knows my healer. Like they're friends. And sort of colleagues to a degree. So, like, yeah, not that my dad does the same things as my healer, but he does study a lot of the same similar studies. Right. So, yeah. What kind of medicine did my ex follow? Well, she was a dentist. Or she is, probably still. Just getting into it, and she didn't really... I don't know. She was... Like, I had made her aware of toxicity, of the issues with mainstream. I basically stimulated her to become like more aware of organic food, and also like it's been a while, but I basically got her maneuvered a little bit into like more alternative medical approach, holistic, especially that, like that she got into holistic medical teachings because of me, where before that was just all standard allopathic. So I helped her with that. I don't know if she still does that. She probably does, because when you really learn about holism, you don't go back, because, I mean, yeah, that's kind of crazy to do that. So, yeah. But I didn't really deal with German New Medicine while I was with my ex. Like, that was after that. But I was into holism for quite a while. I've been into holistic medical approaches since I first started learning about it, which is probably like... what is it? Since 2008, I think. It's roughly around that time. Also started to like get to know like Natural News, Mike Adams, who was really a proponent of holistic, right? And so yeah, there was a whole sort of alternative medical revolution back then, a sort of basic one, which is kind of permanently integrated. I mean, there's plenty of holistic doctors and they work great. So how many days left? Being bad, I don't know. I'm gonna stay on this channel for quite some time. So yeah, you can stop counting down the days till I go back on my channel, because I don't think I'm gonna go back there for at least half a year. Understand? I cannot risk getting another strike. That would mean goodbye 3,000 plus hours of video material that I made and history. Yeah? So I'm not going back. Not for until the entire strike period is over. Right? Or unless I can somehow contact YouTube and get this shit stopping. Because as long as these fucked up stalkers are just around the corner ready to destroy my channel, like, it's not doable, man. It's not doable. But when you chat in live chats, it's going to be my original channel, right? Yeah. Both, I guess. Is it legal to have a second? Yeah, it is legal to have a second channel. Nathan has 3 channels. Why the hell wouldn't it be legal? Try contacting. Yeah, I am. It's just, if somebody could tell me how the hell that works, because it's just a fucking robot. All of it's just a robot. You can't, there's nothing to get through to. Like, you can't get through to them. It's just a robot rolling out stupid standard policy. That's it. That's all there is. There's no people that actually can accomplish anything there on the other side. I have never bumped into one. I've been able to contact a person, lol. Yeah. All I got was just some stupid GPT-like AI communication bot who started to fucking contradict himself. Surprise, surprise. What else is new? Yeah, it's like crap. It's not a person. People don't talk like that. They don't blatantly contradict themselves. It's ridiculous. Right, so I'm still gonna be working on that, but I'm probably not gonna get back to my main channel for a while. Okay, just in time. Never heard of that. No, Dr. Utger. They didn't give me any feedback. They don't give you any feedback. Yeah, I've had these trolls email me continually, like since the first strike happened. They've been trying to email me, trying to gloat over how much they have proof that they were the ones giving me the strike and shit, okay? And I'm not gonna talk about it. It's all crap. It's all backstabbing crap. So I'm not gonna say anything, Dr. Utker. I don't know why you were bringing that up. I mean, at this point, you could guess why that happened. But if you figure out why it happened, then you would realize that I can never bring it up. Because it's one of those. It was a stupid current thing bullshit. And yeah. Just, the only thing I know how to deal with it is literally nobody will bring it up. And if you do, I kick you the fuck out of my channel. Don't care who you are or how friendly you think you are. You bring up the current thing, I kick you the fuck out. Because somebody just saying something is apparently enough for these troll scumbags to just immediately destroy your channel. You get it? So, you don't ask, why? What did you do to have it taken down? That's not a question that you should be asking. Because I can't answer that. Because if I answer that, then it might happen again. They're sad people. Yeah, well, who gives a shit? They're sad. They're fucking destroying my life's work here. They're destroying my livelihood. I don't care how sad they are. I think they should go to jail. They're cyber stalkers. They are actively bullying to a very, very bad, evil degree. And I think they should go to jail for that. And I wonder if I could have that happen. Because I do know who they are. I know that they are known people who are known. People know their voices. And I think they should go to jail for what they're doing. Ruining people's lives. Cyber stalking. Jail. Jail without internet. Yeah? But if they're already in jail, well, then their internet access should be completely cut off for the rest of their jail time. Why don't you go fucking read some books then? There must be some checking in. Yeah, I know, Ben Arthur. It's the fucking current thing. If the current thing is happening and somebody blabbers off about that, they're very eager to just completely destroy everything, even because it's the current thing. And that is it. And that's it every time now. You don't have the right of free speech if you want to talk about the current thing. That's our world now. We have no more free speech. It doesn't exist anymore. Not on these platforms. It's not. Free speech is dead. It doesn't exist anymore. Because if you talk about the current thing, they just take it away from you. Punish very harshly. Even if you want to have like a positive opinion sometimes. Like, they don't give a shit. If you talk about the current thing, you get kicked the fuck off your platform. Right? But they don't actively pursue it. They leave it to the trolls, to the scumbag, traitor, backstabbing bitches. That's who they leave it to just do that. It's like, oh, well, there's a current thing situation. Anybody that wants, if somebody out there you hate, you can kick them the fuck off if they bring it up. Huh? Yeah. It's like they're doing it for the trolls. They are doing it for the scumbags. This is all so overtly satanic. It's sickening. The whole way they manage things is sickening. And that says I am very unhappy about YouTube. Yeah? It's all a bunch of, you don't face any person. psychotic stalkers can just fuck you up very easily. That's how you manage your platform, YouTube. It's ridiculous. It's evil. And it will breed scumbags. More scumbags will come into being because of that management. Who give a shit what QNF does? Dude, the guy's a freaking idiot. Who cares? Goody. Dude, my name, and I've been doxxed in 2017. I don't care. I show where I live. It's like, yeah, my name. I've already said what my name is, right? Arwin is literally my middle name. There's not a lot of people out there with a middle name Arwin, yeah? I live in Utrecht. I'm right here. I show where I live. Every fucking person can know where I live. Come and visit me. Come right ahead. I've had people visit me. Like Dutch Sailor. He came by several times. Look, cool. I'm good with that. I'm not afraid to be doxxed. I am right here. Me. I'm here in Utrecht. You can have my phone number. You can have my address. You can send me packages. Whatever the fuck you want, man. I'm okay with that. I'm not scared to be known for my full name. I'm not scared to be known for my living address. You get it? You can go to jail for that? Okay. Under what condition? Do I have to send him to jail for that? Or he's not even my country. What am I gonna do? I call the police in his country? Like, what? Dude, you can go to jail. Sure, well, it's out of my hands, dude. What am I gonna do? Yeah, I'm not gonna report him to the police for doxing me. It's ridiculous. I mean, the guy can barely speak English. Who gives a shit? Like, who's even gonna watch that? Oh, he's Dutch? Is he Dutch? Really? Ugh. Okay. Well, that's fucked up. Well, in that case, I guess I could send him to jail then, but, I mean, I don't care about the guy. You get it, Dr. Utker? So, you will now stop bringing him up. Because I don't care about the guy. Don't you get it? I don't care about him. Stop bringing him up. I don't want to talk about him. Alright? Get it? Don't want to talk about a stupid fucking troll. Yeah. And besides, he's not the one that reported my channel. So who gives a shit? Yeah, I care about people that are actively destroying me. Not making known who I am. Dude, what? Who the fuck gives a shit about anonymity? I am not anonymous. I am not afraid. I'm not sneaky trying to do some shit and keeping a cover. No, I'm just being me. It's okay to know who I am, what my real name is, where I live. That's okay. That's all just fine. I don't care. But don't destroy my livelihood. That's where the problem comes in. That's where I start to have a problem. Right. Mm-hmm. Sending super chats. Okay, Richard G. Hey. Hey. It's Flatzoid's problem, Richard G. Flatzoid is the one that is completely ignoring all of it. Like it's not happening. He's letting really fucking nasty people just nestle in their channel. And they are going to destroy his channel. And what are you going to do then, Flatzoid? You're just going to complain? Oh, they got taken down. Yeah, that's because you let really disgusting, mentally, socially deranged people roam around in your chat, abusing other people. Yeah? You think that's going to, allowing them to do that's going to stop them from trying to destroy your channel? So, dude, Flatzoid, you just do whatever you want, man. You're letting deranged people bully other people in your chat. It's your fucking problem. It's gonna get your channel taken down. And I'm not doing it, yeah? I don't care. I mean, I like Flatzoid, but he just lets really fucked up people do whatever they want. And I don't like that about him, about how he does that. Don't like that at all. I think it's kind of negligent. But hey, it's his channel, his policy. It's not my business. But you're gonna get in trouble for that. Yeah, those people, you can't control them. You can't calm them down. They're not gonna stop being nasty, and they are going to destroy things around them. That's what they do. Should be locked up in an asylum. Without internet. Trying to remain open. Yeah, there's open and there's just, you know, I am open, right? I'm open. I have ballers. in my chat with wrenches and everything, and I make sure I maintain it, you see. But there's gonna be some variety, then I maintain it. It's like gardening. You gotta make sure that everything just keeps working, right? Letting complete scumbags that actively verbally bully other people continuously in your chat is not being open. It's just being negligent. Yeah? It's not open. It's negligent. Right. So yeah, I mean, it's his show, his issue. He seems to get a lot of subscribers, and maybe he just wants to go that road, but I mean, it's gonna crash. I mean, you're already picking up on this, that there's just risque stuff. It's only a matter of time before some crazy asshole just decides to, oh, I'm gonna take his channel down for that, and then I'm gonna brag over on Discord with the rest of the maniacs. I'm gonna brag about how I destroyed another flat earther. That's gonna happen, Flatzoid. You get it? It's gonna happen. Being open, letting crazy abusive people just do their thing in your place is not gonna prevent that from happening. They will still do that. Like, even the people that you allow doing that in your chat will still do that to you. Yeah? Because they're backstabbing, demonically possessed freaks. They don't care if you tolerate them. They just abuse you for it. That's all they ever do. Right, this is his problem, not mine. I tried talking to him. He basically just ignored me. So, hey, it's your fucking channel. You're gonna fuck it up. It's your fucking problem, not mine. I'll enjoy it while it lasts. Yeah? You're all cool with that? Go ahead. Alright. Anyway. What can we talk about? Oh, wait. Whoa, man, time has flown. Can't believe. Thought it was like, oh, just been doing it for half an hour or something, but it's an hour and 15 minutes already. Huh. I was thinking about calling it. What am I gonna call this show? Okay, this is gonna be the title for now. Oh, okay. No, not that I know of, Steamy Traveler, and not that I'm interested in. Hello, Zane Solo. Yeah, welcome to my channel. How did you find me here, if I may ask? If you're a recent follower. Nathan's, right. How did you find Nathan's? Yeah, Steamy Traveler, how about you, when I feel like it, I'll bring that up, yeah? I don't need a live manager, thanks. When I feel like it, I'll bring it up. Yeah, I don't want to do that right now. Kyle Adams? Who's that? Alright. Right, anyway, cool. Thanks for being here. This is the show where technically, to be fair, I don't really talk about Flat Earth all that much. And when I do, it's usually about my own model conceptions. It's the non-disk Flat Earth assumption. He's a Flat Earther? Right. Flat Earth Kyle. Oh! Wait, I think you might know him. Or I might not. No, I don't think I've ever seen this channel before. Institute of Science? Oh, goody. Really? So, if you got Institute of Science in your main banner, does that mean that he's like really doing the scientific method really strictly? Or how should I interpret that? Anyway, when I do talk about Flat Earth, it's probably going to be about what I think the Earth is like and the issues that come with that. Right, because I don't... Well, I have ballers in my chat, and I don't typically just go and like, oh, ballers, you're wrong. Because it's kind of boring to do that to me, right? Right. But yeah, since we don't really know all that much about the realm, and its dimension specifically, there's still a lot to be speculated about. And I do like to talk about that sometimes. Especially if some new data comes up or something. Right, so recently on D-Life, I guess, I was talking about the beaches of South Antarctica. I mean, I love that title. I'm really happy with with that. Because, well, because just the way it's formulated, it's like, wait, what? South Antarctica? Like how? It's like self-contradicting in the word of it by the understanding of heliocentrism. So it's like, I just like that. I do like careful wordsmithing, and I love that. So I might have like another YouTube show calling it The Beaches of South Antarctica as well. It's too what? There's many ways to go south. I don't know what you're talking about. No, I don't think that it's like you have south and you have north. It's just a direction. It's not a direction on a ball or a disc. It's not pointing to a point in Euclidean space. Neither north or south pole. Those directions are not pointing at a specific point in space. I don't believe that. It's celestial north, celestial south. It's a direction, and it just keeps that direction. Right? It's the rectangular approach. North, south poles, not a point. What? What the hell are you bringing that up for, Tarot? Why the hell are you bringing it up then? Electric sun theory. Yeah, it's all very cute and completely wrong. Sun is not an object. It doesn't have a Euclidean position. It's a non-local hologram, just like all the other celestials. So any theory about what is it is wrong. It's not electricity, it's not plasma, it's not burning gas. It's a hologram. It doesn't have a position. There is nothing, there's no object at the other end of it. Or is it? Pure hologram, non-local. It's not an object. It's not plasma, it's not burning gas. It's not a big lamp. It's light. It's holographically manifesting light. Non-local. It's weird. I can only describe it. I can't tell you how such a thing could be engineered because I don't frickin' know. What I do know is that there's a lot of energy going into it. So where's that energy coming from? Not sure. I've argued that it's basically the energy of the realm itself. Like there is just energy in here. It's like the whole place is electrified and that electrification may naturally, by the design of the creator, manifest naturally in celestial light, so that just the energy being present automatically converts into celestial light at all time, so that it is just a default thing that happens. Right? That's as far as I could basically go with it. I mean, there is energy. It has to come from somewhere. Right? The energy. Because there's energy arriving. And if there's energy arriving, being absorbed at ground level from like sun heat, then there has to be energy coming from somewhere. That's a fact. But is it coming from an object that's radiating that energy like a lamp with some kind of reactor in it creating all that energy? No, that is not the case, because it's not a local object. But there's definitely energy happening. So that's my view on that. Right? I might bring that sort of thing up. There's no magnetic point. Oh, magnetically, there might be a magnetic pole. Sure. Multiple. There are multiple poles magnetically. But that's not the poles I'm talking about. I'm talking about celestial poles, right? The map system is derived from the celestial angles. So it's derived from the lights in the sky and their consistency, not the magnetic readings on the Earth. That's not what the map is based on. It's based on the celestial angular coordinates. Right? And they don't have a pole point. There is no celestial pole point. There's no proof that there is. And yeah, if you presuppose you're on a ball, then yes, of course there would have to be that. Right? And if you insist that you're living on a disc flat Earth, then yeah, you'd have to have a celestial North Pole point. I don't think there is any. I don't think there is any north and south, because I don't think that is actually a literal layout of the terrain. The map is not the terrain. There's scale inconsistencies, which then immediately breaks the entire notion that is a literal representation, that disk. It isn't, because there's scale inconsistencies throughout it, which means it's not literally that. It cannot be, because there are scale inconsistencies. Right? And the alternative is, yeah, there is no North Pole point. It's a direction, because there may be more beyond the north, just as there may be more beyond the south. Right? Maybe. I have no proof that there is, but there could very well be. And I've even argued way beyond that. I argued that when you go beyond the celestial North Pole line, South Pole line, or the antiquator that I called it, right? You have the equator, which is the maximum of the sun within the realm, and then you have the anti-equator, is where it is basically these celestial North and South Pole lines where the sun should be minimal. Well, also correlating is the sphere, the apparent celestial sphere rotating, right? So you have the North Pole point, the Polaris is directly above you, and then the rest is rotating around it like this as you're standing on the ground here, and then the North, so Polaris right above you, so spinning around you. Well, what happens if you move further north into the other realm, basically beyond the north? Logically, the Polaris and the axis of the celestial sphere should be rotating even further, right? You're moving north, in this case that direction. Polaris should, as it came above you as you reach that line, it should go further. So what other half of a celestial sphere is going to be revealed now? Is it the same celestial star demi-sphere that we get to see in our realm? Is that half is it going to return, or is another half celestial sphere going to return? Another part, like another half of the celestial parent sphere might actually start appearing, so that half of the star-lit skies will be like alien to you if you are from this realm specifically, if you've never seen that. That might happen beyond the north, and it might also happen beyond the South Pole line, the antiquators. Right? So these are all things that I've argued about, and I've argued about them like in my Flat Earth Talks days even. Just look up the show, The Antiquator. It's a Flat Earth Talks show from years ago where I explain exactly this, yeah? I talked about this when people were still like arguing what gravity was, okay? I was already having these ideas way back then. And all I'm really doing is just bringing them back up again, because it still blows people's minds, because nobody ever thinks like that. You're so stuck in your pre-programming, and I don't blame you, because that's basically all you ever get. You get the information, and you get the way you should be thinking about it from the people that tell you. And they don't even have to give you specific instructions. It just comes naturally because they're approaching it that way, and so you will then approach it that way too as you assimilate that information and master it. That's how people learn. Well, I'm odd. I'm an odd one out. I'm an odd duck. And I go like, oh, that's the information. Oh, well, I'm going to try that other thing that nobody does. That's what I do. Because I don't like doing the same thing. Especially if I see flaws in it. Yeah? So, how this realm actually really is not so straightforward, finalized. Like, the data is not complete. Even from a flat earther perspective, the data is just not complete. We don't have all the data. We don't know. All these things are just assumed. It's all just assumed through the maps, reification of the maps. I like to speculate on what could be based on threading outside of the standard unconfirmed assumptions that have been all modeled in every map we've ever had. Like a cage for our mind. We can't even think outside of stupid map projections about the world. Okay, thanks to that. But thanks to that system, we can't even think outside of that. You can't even, in your mind, see like, it's just a projection. Yeah, we hear it. Yeah, maps are based on projections. Cool. But do you actually understand what that means? I doubt it. It's very difficult for a lot of people to actually understand what that really means. How it's like a weird reversed engineering process based on the consistency of the celestial light behavior, which you don't even know what they are, but they're consistent, yeah? And then derived from that consistency, the map was made. But guess what? It's not entirely consistent. Yeah, and so you have a problem, and all you have left is a map projection based on the assumption of full consistency of how the celestial lights, which you don't know what they really are, behave. And then you have your map. And then everybody got such a headache that they can't even like thread outside of it. It's a cage for the mind based on assumptions. And you can't get out of it because there is no alternative out there for you to quickly latch onto and then develop differently. There isn't any. We only have these map projections based on the celestial lights. And that's it. There might have been testing. Like, what is beyond the north? What is beyond the south? It's not been omitted. They left it out. If there ever was any. If anybody ever tried. I don't even know if Admiral Byrd ever tried it. Although if anybody would have, it would have been him. And I think a lot of people suspect that about him. But I mean, he was a Freemason, and the world stage was about to be set for the moon landing later on in the century. So it would have to be a ball. So they could never admit that if there was any territory beyond the antiquator regions, which were then assumed to be points on a ball. If there ever was any cataloging of that, then it's not public. It's not publicly admitted. Yeah, well, Richard G., yeah, there's all kinds of things said, right? Rumors endless. Where's the data, though? Right. Anyway, I'm going to take a 2-minute break. Be right back. And I'm back. What are you talking about, LVA Paul? Why are you bringing that up? Man, this weather kind of sucks. Glad that I don't have to go out for groceries or anything. Too bad there's no live flat earth debates, though. I would have looked forward to it. He went to the extra land. Well, Mark J., that's interesting that you bring it up. So I'm not really all that super familiar about Emily Earhart, other than that she was some historical figure. But I mean, it sounds all really Grabler prone. So there could be some weird political misinformation, weird shit. Like, I don't fully trust the character, historically. But I'm not like against it or whatever, but yeah, I mean, if Emily Earhart really did exist exactly as said, she did like disappear, right? She was never found. She just went in an airplane and then just was lost or something? That is like what they said. So yeah, maybe she did like go to the beaches of South Antarctica or something, or North, or right? Maybe she did just like, okay, I'm gonna retire. I'm gonna retire from humanity now. Like, I'm gonna go to a place that literally nobody even knows exists, and I'm just gonna live my final days out on a beach with a coconut drink that I have to make myself, of course, but... and just, like, nobody whining. No person ever talking to me. Oh. I don't know. I'm imagining that, but... I might get a little lonely, though. But, yeah, she was supposedly gone in an airplane, so who knows where she went. But on the other hand, she could have also just gone down over the ocean, you know? You can't really tell. I mean, if you go down over the deep ocean outside of radar reach and all that, and you go down, yeah, there's nobody's gonna ever find that. Ever. Like, you could literally send out a, I don't know, micro submarine bot scout party, swarm or whatever, and like comb the entire ocean bottom. You're never gonna find it again. It's so insanely big, you're never going to find it again, right? Because there's just no way. It's too much. Like, the chances of finding that are like astronomical. Anyway. But yeah, maybe she did like land on the beaches of South Antarctica. Or on the hill lands of the north, right? The mountain range with the 4 rivers and some land in there. She might have just gone there and lived with the giants or something. Who knows? Who knows where she went? Only elites. The elites don't know shit, Zane Solo. This is so silly, man. People always say, oh, the elites, they know the elites. Dude, the elites are a bunch of retards. They don't know shit. The only thing they know is when to cuck to get maximum profit. That's really it. That's what they know. They don't know shit. Knowing things get in the way. You see? It gets in the way of getting more power and money. Knowing things. You just gotta know when to do something that can get you profit. And like, these elites don't know shit, man. Dude, most of these fucked up elites, they don't even know the moon landing was fake. You think I'm joking? Those mega banker elite figures that you still kind of leaked through, that they're out there. These people don't know anything. They only know about their trade. They know how to attain their power. They don't know how this frickin' world works at all. They don't know anything. People are dumb. They only know about their specialty, which they need to stay on top. That's all they know. They don't know anything about the world. People so overestimated, they think that, oh, the people of the secret cabal in power, that they're like brilliant and they have pure oversight over everything and they're ruling like a devil. What nonsense. Nonsense. Just look at what's out there. You think that the people behind like this crazy communist hostile takeover of the world, that those people, the way they are, that they're secretly backed by people in the shadows that are super brilliant? You think that? No. People in the shadows are just as deranged. They're all crazy. Bermuda Triangle's NASA's junkyard? Yeah, apparently. I know I've never been there, but that's the story that goes around. And I'm like, yeah, probably. I think she's still flying. That's hilarious, Dr. Utker. Don't think the fuel of the aircraft from that time would last that long. They didn't exactly have like solar panel powered eternal flyers or anything. I mean, they have them now. I think probably even spy satellites and all that are said to be satellites are probably just solar power floaters that just keep flying, and they have cameras on them, they can communicate, but they just keep flying forever. They don't have to be a balloon to keep flying for a very long time. It could just be a self-powered flyer, right? Like yeah, it's a special type of plane. It's like a hover plane that just can endlessly fly. They're very light and they just basically hover. Well, who's to say that they can't use that with solar power and just keep those things flying forever until something breaks, right? I mean, why do you need a balloon? A balloon's just eventually probably gonna burst, gonna crash down. Flyer, I mean, could get very quickly all over the place and like it would never have to touch down. Is Flat Earth debate on today? It's Saturday, JML. There's no live Flat Earth debates on Saturday, only premieres. Anyway, hope you guys are enjoying the show. I feel it's been pretty interesting. I'm really glad also just the amount of people that are actually getting in the chat. I mean, it's a big world of difference with D-Live. Although with D-Live, there's still some people came around. I mean, it's not been completely devoid. But on YouTube, it's just so many more people in the chat these days. I'm very happy about it. It might also because spring is coming and during the winter there's always less. What? Mikey's video? What are you talking about, Ben Arthur? Mikey's firmament video? Firmament video. Oh my god, really? Serious star. Oh well, if there's serious star in there, well then it has to be real. That's bullshit. I mean, interesting side and all, but how the hell is that supposed to prove a firmament? It's ridiculous. It's all non-local. You can't get there. That makes no sense, Dr. Utker. I don't think anybody's ever touched the firmament. I don't think anybody in the past has ever touched the firmament. I don't think anybody can actually touch the firmament and live. Or whatever. Because I think there's a great chance that whatever this flat top is, if there's going to be meteors out there that are associated, and with all the energy that creates the celestial lights, I think there's a really good chance that the flat top is highly electrified. I don't think anything could touch it and prevent from disintegrating. Something like that. I really do. I don't think it's just like just like touching the ceiling when you're sitting under a table. No, I don't think so. I don't think it's safe. I think that if you would actually somehow get through the thinner air and still maintain like increased altitude to the point that you would touch the flat top, I think that anything that could achieve that would simply just disintegrate. Just get zapped to all shit, to the point where literally even metal will just start to liquefy very quickly. Right? I mean, if falling stars, even crackling meteors come off that flat top, well, would have to be a lot of energy which would be electrified in order for it to reach that burning up point, right? I've argued this. What could meteors be? It could be like plaque against the flat top that is basically just gradually forming there from extreme electrification of the thinner gases that would then transmute and gradually turn into weird metals and shit that would just plaque on it. And then at some point, parts could start to break away. And because of the electricity, it's like hanging on a thread. It actually wants to shoot away. And then suddenly it gets loose. And then bang, it lights up as soon as it gets loose. Because of the electrification situation, it comes loose. The rock or this piece of metal, it comes loose. And bang, immediately it becomes lit up and shoots away like a magnetic bolt. I mean, it's the only model, and I made it up myself. It's the only model that even close to making any kind of sense to explain frickin' falling stars, okay? It's the only kind of description that I could even myself make up to try to justify what the fuck is happening there. Okay? Other than it's just a celestial light illusion or something. I mean, there are things coming down here. They're glittering. I heard it myself with my own ears. Yeah, you don't hear holograms. You hear physical things. So, there's something up there. I think it's highly electrified. The flat top is probably extremely electrified in order for meteors to become like they are. So that's my explanation. I have no tangible evidence for it, of course, but at least it's a train of thinking. It's a reasoning. And who knows, you might even be able to micro-emulate it. Right? Maybe you can actually emulate the formation of meteors that way by having an isolated tank with an electrified metal flat top, and then just see how much juice you throw through that, how much it would require for stuff to basically start building up. I don't know, maybe it's impossible to do it physically. I'm not sure, but I'm pretty sure that there would be electrification there, that there is electricity involved, because otherwise nothing about it makes sense. The observations, falling stars, where the hell are they coming from? How can that be like a recycled system? Well, the only thing that could do that could basically create plaque and metal would be extreme electricity. That would be the only thing that could then ignite it so that you could see a falling star. So it's the only approach that I've even heard that isn't just heliocentric nonsense about flying rocks in a vacuum that just happened to come by. Right? So I've never even heard an alternative from anybody. April Fools. Yeah. No, I'm not April Fooling anybody here today, so my April Fool's joke is that I'm really being actually serious. Yeah. Comet. Yeah, Mark J. Well, comets are a different thing. I really do believe that comets are celestial lights. I think that they're not physical. Make no sense being physical anyway. Nothing about them makes sense if they were physical. I think that comets really are a celestial light-based phenomenon. And that's why they reoccur. That's why they are part of the cyclical nature of the rest of the stars and planets. Yeah? Holographic. Not physical. There's no trace, like not a trace of anything physical about comets. No trace, right? The sighting, yes. And CGI model speculation. Oh, look, it's a piece of ice. It goes close to the sun and starts evaporating, and that's what we see. Yeah, it's all really cute. All based on fictional models that can't be violate second law of thermodynamics. It's all really cute, so it's not that, right? And there's no actual physical evidence of any physical nature about them. Not like meteors, right? Because, I mean, I personally have heard meteors happen with my ears. There is no explanation for that if there wasn't something physical about them. But comets, no. They just say it's water. They just say this and that happens to it. There's no evidence. No comet has ever left a bucket of water on the Earth. Yeah? Except, oh, but that happened millions of years ago. Yeah. But not during recorded history ever, though. Yeah? And neither during recorded history has there ever been a meteor impact that left a crater. That has never happened either. Meteors have come. I've heard them, right? Things crackling, or something exploding right above the ground or something. No impact. Ever. Ever. It's never been recorded ever. Meteor has never hit the ground and made a crater. Ever. There's no record of this ever. But there are things. Burning metal. There is something physical there. I've seen it and heard it myself in person on several occasions. And last time it was really distinct was in 2014. Even before Flat Earth. For sure. Right, but the same is not for comets. Comets is just a story. It's something you see, it's really bizarre, it's in your face, but it's part of the celestial sphere. It's never something that's ever been associated with anything physical, proof-wise, here on Earth. Ever. Meteors, different story. There's something physical. Now, if that's all connected, that's another thing. But there is metal burning up that makes sound. That comes down sometimes. It's just what it is. So there is something physical there. That makes it really mysterious. Comets? Nope. No such thing. It's just part of the celestials. There's no tangible physical remnants or even claims, except for things that happened millions of years ago, supposedly, right? No proof. So that's my answer for that. Hope that answers your question, Mark J. Geyser crater? What? What are you talking about, Klebruckus? Hello, by the way. What do you mean, geyser crater? I mean, that's from pressure under the earth? That's water boiling? Oh, geyser crater, not meteor. Yeah. Well, who knows what those created? I mean, yeah, it might have been a geyser getting caught up and basically a steam explosion becoming so big that boom! Maybe? I don't know. But there is no, like, record of, like, whoa, yeah, oh, our telescopes were looking and then a meteor and then, oh shit, it's hitting that area and oh! It's never happened before, ever. Yeah? That only happens in the disaster movies. It's never happened for real. I mean, the closest thing that came to that, allegedly, was the Tunguska explosion that flattened all the forest. There is a suggestion there. But it didn't even make a crater. Yeah? But it flattened all the woods, supposedly. Now, there's a claim that that might have been a meteor that exploded right above the ground. But again, no crater! Yeah? No crater! There isn't any. No meteor has ever left a crater. Ever. There's no evidence for that whatsoever. Baringa crater? Yeah, but nobody was there to actually witness that happening, so it's all made up. Right? And besides, if it's really long ago, and let's just say I don't know about this Baringa crater, right? But I'm gonna just speculate out of nowhere, right? This is made up. So maybe they found some really huge meteorite metal rock there at the center of that crater. And they're like, oh, yeah, this is definitely a meteor impact. We got this giant metal there. How the hell do you know that that was a meteor and not just like a, well, flying city-based weapon where they basically just, boom, fire a gigantic metal boulder and then just magnetically launch it like a railgun, and that it was so powerful that it would literally create a crater? How would you know it wasn't a man-made weapon then? You see? If it's so long ago that nobody actually saw it happening and testified about it, then how do you know that it was a naturally occurring thing and not a weapon from ancient man? I mean, they had frickin' flying cities and supposed nuclear death rays or something. Oh, who's to say they didn't just have, like, rail guns in which they launched, like, let's just say 5 meter diameter steel boulders, which they would magnetically launch from really high up. I mean, that would fuck up something, right? Massive amount of weight and then magnetically launch like that. That's gonna fuck things up. I mean, it's like an insane cannonball or something. That's extreme speeds. I don't know. Not exactly a heavy weapon expert like that, but I mean, if they find it, how do you know it's a meteor and not a man-made device when it left the crater? You see? I don't think that there is any natural occurrence that creates craters like that. I think that effectively all those craters are all directly or indirectly because of man-made devices. Ancient man-made devices? And whatever. Maybe evil, maybe possessed by the devil, maybe the Nephilim, but not just natural. There's no craters that just naturally happen. That's what I'm saying. By some standard natural occurrence, like a meteor that just comes out of nowhere. There's no crater being formed by meteors. But, I mean, we already have bombs which make craters. So who's to say if we can now make craters with bombs in the earth that didn't happen in the past? Yeah? Why wouldn't it have happened in the past? Of course it happened in the past. Think anything changes like that? No. History rhymes. Same thing always goes happening again. Forever. For as long as there is life. It's going to keep happening. And big craters are created by man-made devices. Or sinkholes, but that's different. That's not something exploding though. That's literally sinkhole. Yeah, but good point, by the way, Godzilla. Right? But that's a sinkhole. That's not an explosion. And hello, George Sanford. Good to see you. Right, so I hope you all are enjoying the show. I'm going a bit longer. 2 hours, 7 minutes already. What? What do you mean, LVA poll? It makes no sense to have a cycle. What do you mean? Can you time? No. Why would you time out Moxie? Discretion. What? I've never been married. I wanted to, but no. But seriously, yeah, I wanted, with my ex, I wanted to marry her. But yeah, that just didn't happen. Friesland supposed to. Yeah. That, well, it's a sunken island, right? So yeah, there is vertical shift of the land. That does happen apparently. The original? What are you talking about? The original one? Friesland was the original Friesland here in the Netherlands. I mean, Friesland, that island, was probably pretty much an outpost of the Frisian people. It wasn't their original land and then they moved to the Netherlands, okay? That's nonsense. Is that the same peoples from the book? Yeah. The Frisian, yeah, they live in my country. It's called Friesland. Friesland. And yeah, they are like Dutch, but they also are, well, Fries. And that's a really weird language. It's like something that I really can't make out what they're saying when they talk like that. It's like Friesland, the Frisian people in the Netherlands are like what the Welsh are in England. Just kind of different. But one trait about the Frisians is that they are super white hair blonde. That's very typical Frisian. So they are really like their own people. It's interesting. They are really like, they're not blonde, they're like white hair blonde. Really light blonde. Not the golden thing or anything. So yeah, they really are their own people. They are a tribe, in my opinion. A tribe that I find very fascinating too. For their traits, for their genetic traits. They're very interesting, durable people. It's got to be cold in Friesland? No, not particularly. It's kind of the same as everything else in the Netherlands. And Friesland borders the ocean too, right? So it's still going to be oceanic climate. I mean, if it's going to be freezing in the Netherlands, it's usually the provinces more land inward, like closer to Germany and France, that get the real freezing. Because, yeah, land that's right next to the ocean, it becomes more a mild, averaged out climate that just happens. Okay. I didn't know that. Richard G. Sure, whatever. Yeah, hey, Clammy, how about, like, why do you keep asking about that sort of thing? Right? I mean, what's next? You're gonna ask me about my sex life? Like, why do you even care? Like, and besides, I don't really know you. What, you want to hang out with me? Fine, come and hang out with me. I'm open for visitors. Physically, that is. Yeah, I'm not even kidding. You want to come by? Fine, come by. I actually kind of appreciated when Dutch Sailor would come by periodically. It was cool. was nice. But yeah, outside of that sort of thing, I don't have friend circles here anymore. I used to have like a D&D group, a Dungeons and Dragons tabletop group, and that's gone. And even the location, yeah, like the way we did it back then was through a website. What was it again? Meetup.com, and that doesn't even work anymore. Like, it's all you have to pay now, and it's like ridiculous. It doesn't work really well. So yeah, I'm kind of cut off. I didn't always have like such a non-existent social life. It's just kind of become a bit worse since the whole medical situation in, yeah, you know, those years ago. And that's when my group disintegrated too, and I'm sad about it, because like, yeah, I mean, had a thing going. Climby just wants to hang. That's fine. You want to hang, come and hang. But I'm not gonna just tell you. I'm not gonna describe you all the details of my life just out of nowhere. Yeah, it's getting invasive. I mean, I'll tell you about it all by myself. But if people start asking about it, then I kind of like, why do you want to know all that? Hang or bang? Ugh. Don't do that, Tarot. For fuck's sake. What the fuck are they doing over there? Making noise like it's some kind of a freaking football game. What the fuck are they doing over there? Why the hell are they making that stupid noise all the time? Okay, they have freaking fireworks lit there. What the hell? Have I seen the latest Dungeons and Dragons movie? No, I heard that it came out. I haven't seen it yet. The trailer looked kind of stupid. But, I mean, it's probably gonna be better than Dungeons and Dragons 1, which was like horrifyingly bad. What's going on? I don't know. They're like partying like there's like some kind of a football celebration or something with stupid horns, stupid house music, and fire, like red firework, you know, like the flare type color thing, and so they're having some party or something. I don't know, man. It just sounds really stupid. Ugh. Right, but yeah, I mean, I will get to watching that new Dungeons and Dragons movie once it's no longer new and nobody gives a shit and I can just download it somewhere. But yeah, my expectations are not exactly high. I did like the second Dungeons and Dragons movie, by the way. I did really like that one. Like that the second one actually felt like Dungeons and Dragons, like playing the game. It really did actually feel like that, and that was cool. But the rest, ugh. I mean, the first one was just like, oh, let's play D&D. Oh, let's play D&D with that awkward friend that totally doesn't get D&D, but he's still trying to do it, and it's just really aggravating. It's like, oh, yeah, on D&D? No, you're an idiot. You don't know what the fuck you're doing. You're trying to introduce modern bullshit into our medieval setting game, you asshole. Stop ruining our game. That's Dungeons and Dragons 1. It sucked. Like, don't frickin' talk modern slang in a Dungeons and Dragons game, you dick. Ugh. But the second one didn't do that, and it was great. I liked it. It wasn't perfect, but it was like, yeah. It did actually feel like Dungeons and Dragons. So, well, there's more than I can say for the rest. Still cam on? What does that mean, LVA Paul? But yeah, that's the third one, right? The third one is like, oh, let's do an Evo campaign setting. But it's lame. It's like, it didn't work. Like, it didn't work. Is Baldur's Gate technically? Yeah, it is. It is, absolutely. It's Forgotten Realms setting Dungeons and Dragons 2.0. So, yeah. You read it somewhere. Dude, you can literally Google that. Yeah, duh, it's Dungeons and Dragons. Duh. It's like, it's the Dungeons and Dragons game that pretty much put Dungeons and Dragons on the map in the public conscious. It's like the first game that really was a Dungeons and Dragons based game. That wasn't just some stupid text scroll or something. So, yeah. Duh. It's a cam. Oh, okay, LVMO. I think I have it downloaded somewhere, but it's a hard movie to find. On average, it's like nobody's ever heard of it. But I mean, seriously, the Dungeons and Dragons movies have never been popular out there. Including the second one, which I don't understand because I really like the second one, but even everybody else is like, oh, no, the second one is also stupid. I'm like, okay, fine, whatever. I guess they like the World of Warcraft movie better. Ugh. One thing that I liked about the Dungeons and Dragons movies is that it's not, well, except for the first one, but the second one is that it's not just everything is CGI. Some things were, but there's a lot of like real physical things and physical props, and I like that. It's better that way. The first one was just horrendous. It's like, oh yes, oh really terribly looking CGI dragons. Oh, this is so cool. I haven't seen anything that cool since Birdemic. Now that's too harsh, but I mean, it looked really fucking stupid. Like, lame. Like, wow, dragons. Wow, they look so incredibly fake. The average video game now looks more realistic than the graphics of Dungeons and Dragons 1. It was so fucking ugly, it's unbelievable. Yeah, always enjoyed movies with good physical props. Yeah, me too. It's what I really like about Mad Max 2. It's all physical, all of it. And they do real stunts, and real dangerous stunts too. It's epic. By the way, I did watch like the second part of Thunderdome. It's not as bad as the first part. I mean, there's still some cute things about it, but it's definitely like just kind of... It has an action scene with a train that makes absolutely no sense logically. I mean, why the fuck are there train tracks there for a machine that's literally been installed to be a machine not to move? But they left the train tracks? Why? Why wouldn't you recycle them? In a post-industrial world, why would you leave those train tracks just perfectly pristine there so somebody could hijack your machine and then... Nothing about it makes sense. It was stupid that way. But it was slightly more entertaining than the first half, which was just... so lame. Stupid. Second half was more entertaining, like when they're gonna try to rescue the master character. Like, that was slightly more entertaining. So it wasn't really all that bad. I also kind of watched back the Lost Kids, right, in there, the Lost Boys and their storytelling. That was actually pretty cool. I mean, it wasn't as lame as I remembered it. I think that when I saw that as a kid, I was like, ugh, stupid kids. I don't want to see the stupid kids. Ugh. Let me go to the adults, right? That's when I was a kid. But now watching it back, it's like, yeah, it's actually pretty decently done. Like, they made a lot of effort, like, with the clothing and all that. I mean, thinking about it, it's like, really? Did those kids really all make that leather and shit? How the hell did they even learn that? But, I mean, it was more believable than Bartertown and their stupid law system, and everybody's completely, like, moronic there. I mean, yeah. But, I mean, yeah, the third Mad Max movie, Thunderdome, it's definitely not even close to being as good as the second one. Action-wise, and story-wise, and drama-wise, it's like almost bloodless. It's like a PG movie. It's like, why the fuck would you have a PG Mad Max movie? Like, just think about Mad Max 1, and then think, oh yeah, man, the third movie, it's gonna be PG. Yes, that makes sense. No, it doesn't. It's a really stupid idea. Why the hell did they do that? It's lame. Right? I mean, just put it right next to Mad Max 1 and you're like, this isn't even the same franchise anymore. It's just ridiculous. Like, there's no car chase. Not really. Well, they use some cars, but it's like, there's barely any cars in Mad Max 3. There's more airplane time than car time in Mad Max 3, okay? I mean, what the hell? First one was exclusively about car chases. The second one, mostly about car chases. Third one, cars? Oh yeah, we don't really use them anymore, really. Oh. Okay. Right, anyway, man, the show's been going on forever. 2 hours, 30 minutes. Huh. But I am gonna round out now, I think. Unless somebody has still has another comment or a question. I have a slight accent. Yeah, I'm Dutch. I really try to get rid of the accent, though. Third one exclusively. What? What are you talking about? Women's rights. That Max 3 is not about women's rights. What are you talking about? Or are you talking about something else? If you moved on with the conversation now. Right, anyway, I am gonna round out. So yeah, Cleary, you're late. Not a good morning. I'm technically 45 minutes over my normal show time, Cleary. That's how late you are. You're 45 minutes late. It's a miracle that I'm even still live. Right. So tomorrow, why don't you show up more on time? Yeah, you slept late. No shit. Right. Anyway, it's been a good show, I think. Very good. I mean, I didn't even get pissed off once. I like the new me. I hope you guys like the new me as well, because I'm not gonna, like, I'm gonna, like, probably move Ragewind more back to the background, because it's like I'm over that phase. I could still do it, I just don't want to and need to do it anymore. Since I've got this technique, self-healing, I don't seem to have the need to do it anymore. They got pissed off at you one time. Yeah, but that's not really pissed off. That's just disciplining. Right? Yeah, thanks anyway. Thanks everyone for coming. Hope you liked this show. It seems like a lot of you did. If you did like it, then please don't forget to Rogans it up. I mean, do upvote the show, please. Like, don't just leave without doing that. Especially if you like the show. It would be great if you do it before the show ends, because a lot of people seem to just forget doing that. I don't know what it is. But yeah, Rogans it up. And if you haven't already, subscribe to my channel and hit the bell notification so you know when I'm going live, which is normally 1 PM Amsterdam time in the weekdays and 2 PM Amsterdam time in the weekend. And please also do support me through the PayPal, Patreon, and that's it. And that would be much appreciated. You could join over at on my main channel, but like I'm not gonna probably be doing anything there for 6 months, so yeah, it seems kind of pointless. And there's no monetization here. I'm probably not gonna do it even if I do get enough subscribers, because why would I at this point? Right? Then I'd have to like lock it into my freaking bank account and all that shit. I don't even want to do that. Right, so anyway, I'll be back tomorrow with Flat Earth Early Bird number 1558 on a Sunday. So it's going to be 2 PM Amsterdam time again. Hope to see you there all then. On time. And until the next video, keep it flat.